Welcome to this section where we'll be talking about how to hire the right people. Your ability to hire the right people to help you get the job done will determine your success as much as any other factor. If you cannot hire good people with the right skills, knowledge, and temperament to assist you, you will end up having to do much of the work yourself. Managers who cannot multiply themselves through other people can never be promoted to positions of higher responsibility. Fortunately, hiring the right people is a business skill that can be learned, just like all business skills. At the beginning of your career as a manager, you will make a lot of hiring mistakes because you simply do not know what you are doing. Over time, you should get better and better at hiring because you find that hiring the wrong people is extremely costly, both emotionally and financially. Here's my technique that I've used over the years for hiring. I've shown it to senior executives and have been told that it revolutionized their hiring processes nationwide. It also increases the likelihood that you will make the right choice in about 90% of hires. It's called the Law of Three. The first application of this law says that you should interview at least 3 candidates for any job, if not more. By interviewing 3 candidates, you get an opportunity to compare and contrast skill sets and what's available to you in the marketplace. Never hire the first and only person that you talk to. Cast a wide net and interview a variety of people for the job so that you can see what is available. The second application of this law of 3 is to interview the candidate that you like 3 different times. This may be tomorrow or next week or 3 days in a row. Go slowly. Take your time. A person who looks great in the first interview may look average in the second interview and terrible in the third interview. This happens with incredible regularity. The third application of this law is to interview the candidate you like in 3 different places. The first interview can be in your office. The second interview can be down the hall in a meeting room. And the third interview can be across the street in a coffee shop. As you move people around in different environments, the candidate will reveal different aspects of their personality that you did not see in your office. Remember that the best that a candidate will ever look will be the first time that you interview them. They will never look any better than that. In the second and third interviews, or in the second and third locations, the initially appealing candidate may start to look worse and worse. The fourth application of this law is to have the candidate interviewed by at least 3 other people. Never rely on your own judgment in selecting a person to work for your company. Always invite the involvement and opinions of other people before you make a decision. I once interviewed an executive for my company with whom I was very impressed. I was on the verge of hiring him when I remembered my own law. So I took him around the office and had him speak to each of the key players on my team, one at a time, so that they could ask him questions and form their own judgments. At the end of the day, they came to me as a group and told me that I must absolutely not hire this person. He was totally inappropriate for our company. He had flaws and weaknesses that I had been unable to detect, but which they had seen in their conversations. I dropped the consideration of the candidate immediately and never spoke to him again. When you have your other staff members interview a person that you are thinking of inviting to join your team, and you eventually do decide to hire that person, that new person will be immediately accepted by everyone. Because others have had a role in selecting the person, they will feel personally responsible for helping that person to get going and make a maximum contribution. The very best leaders in every industry have developed a reputation over time of selecting the very best people to work with and for them. This is an essential part of your becoming an excellent manager and fulfilling your potential in your industry. The key is to go slow. There's too much at stake. Remember, the key is to take the hiring process slowly. Be thorough. You want this person to be perfect. Now let's move on to our teamwork exercises.